Hey guys, I just wanted to take a quick minute and thank you for hanging out with me on this channel and for being with me all these years. If you're new with me, I appreciate you being here. If you've been with me for years on the One Truth for Life channel, High Impact Flicks, High Impact Vlogs, High Impact TV, those channels have been taken down except for the main channel, High Impact Flicks, and that's kind of, I'm hanging on by my fingernails over there a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Censorship is the new hate speech, and definitely truth is treason in the empire of lies, so that's to be expected. But I appreciate you being here. I wanted to let you know that I've started a new channel. Now I'm not going to tell you what the name of that channel is here. If you want to find out what it is, check out my last BitChute channel. I'll be advertising for the channel on this platform over there on BitChute and Odyssey, and the reason for that might be obvious to some of you guys, but I think the rest of you will figure it out. But I've dedicated that channel to be a strictly film the police / hold public servants accountable. And the reason I want to do that is because, well, a lot of you have requested that I do it, that me and Trish take to the streets, or that I just go on the streets and just start educating people, because this really is all about setting brush fires of freedom in the minds of men. If people do not have freedom in their minds, then you might as well just consider yourself enslaved. You're only as free as the minds of those in your community. They are only as free as your mind. So if everybody else is a slave and is calling for the chains of their own oppression, guess what's going to happen to you and your family? That's why it's vitally important for all these First Amendment auditors to be conducting themselves above board, no matter what they do, no matter what they go, or where they go, and what they say and how they communicate. Because basically what we're trying to do is carve out and take back the freedoms that have already been stolen from us. And that is a difficult task, because once you give up your power, it's hard to get that power back. Because, you know, for the psychopaths, when they gain power, they don't concede it. It's almost impossible. So that's why it's important to do that. And it's also important to turn the cameras on people who call themselves public servants, because there's no greater oppressor in the world than those who, with their lips, say, oh, I'm a public servant, I'm here to serve and protect. And then they end up not serving and protecting, but harassing and collecting. So that's why I'm starting that channel. It's completely devoted to filming and talking to public servants so that we can all be educated and increase in knowledge, because knowledge is power. If you don't use your rights, they're just like Amagansett Press says, rights are like muscles. If you don't use them, you will lose them. Stop working out, stop exercising that muscle, your bone density diminishes and your muscles start atrophying, and then you become weak. But if you start exercising your muscles, if you start exercising your rights, if you start using the freedoms that you have, and you start broadcasting the freedoms to other people, setting brush fires of freedom in the minds of men and women in your community, in your society, and in your world, then guess what? People start getting strengthened, they get empowered. The last thing government officials want you to be is empowered. They want you to rely on them. They want you to remain in a state of weakness, in a state of ignorance, in a state of apathy. And those who are apathetic and indifferent are the people who easily give up their own self-determination and their own power and their own authority to other people who will illegitimately take your authority. It's like, who was it? Samuel Adams said, no people will tamely surrender their liberties, nor can any be easily subdued when knowledge is preserved and virtue is expanded. On the contrary, when people give up their virtue, when they become, demoralized, dehumanized, deceived, and conquered, then they will sink under their own weight without the aid of a foreign oppressor or a foreign invader. And that's the problem. We don't hold the line. We don't hold the moral line. People have lost their moral compass, and that's why it's important. And unfortunately, it's human nature to, for a lot of these people out here, they just will not do the right thing unless you roll the film, unless you record them. That's why San Joaquin Valley Transparency is always saying, record the police, film the police. Wherever you go, have that recorder on, have a body cam on, have a dash cam, rear facing, front facing, have some kind of audio recorder on constantly, because we constantly catch these people doing criminal things while they say they're serving and protecting. So that's why I'm starting that channel. It's called, I'll just tell you the name of it. It's here. I got to be real. It's like, navigating around the censorship landmines is very, very difficult. So anyway, take a look at I'll have the link to my backup to the backup to the backup to the backup channel on my BitChute channel and on my Odyssey channel. And those links will be in the description and in the pinned comment. I would love to have you over there. We can have dialogue, we can have debate. I don't know everything. I barely know anything, but I know none of us is greater than all of us. And if we all stick together, if we all stand together, we will do very well. If we don't stand together, we will fall. That's why, it sounds cliche, but united we stand, divided we fall. If we don't stand together, we will hang separately, or we'll go to the FEMA camp separately. So thank you for being here on Grease Monkey Videos. If you like these videos, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification icon, give it a thumbs up, share it with everybody you know, and don't forget to subscribe to my private email list through my website, highimpactflix.com. That way we stay in direct communication away from third-party platforms. Here's the video. Enjoy. So I'm not going to go over this all the way, but you remember Vitaly, the famous YouTuber Vitaly? Well, it just came out. The body camera footage came out today of an incident that happened in April 12th, 2020, where Vitaly was high on mushrooms or something, man. And there was a passing female jogger outside of a house that they were in. Vitaly goes out there with just like yellow swimming trunks on and makes like he's going to give her a hug. She, of course, hey, I don't want to give you a hug. He grabs her, throws her to the ground, gets on top of her, straddles her, and starts beating her face into the concrete. The lady needed stitches. The cops show up. And so I watched some of this video today. I watched about 25 minutes of it. I'll leave the link in the description for you on this one as well. Take a look at it and look at how unprofessional in kindergarten the cops were. It says, in the early evening of April 12, 2020, Lily Jensen was out jogging by herself on a typical sleepy road in Miami Beach, Florida, when a man, later identified as YouTuber Vitaly, this is the guy that does a bunch of practical joke videos. He'll go to the Super Bowl and he'll run half naked with something, like something that has to do with his website so he can get national TV. He's done it at soccer events and all this kind of stuff. A lot of people know him. He's got like billions of views, literally billions of views on YouTube and other social media platforms. But he was strung out on some kind of drugs. It's just pitiful. And just the fact that he brutalized and assaulted this lady. Says, without any provocation, attempted to hug her. Uninterested, Jensen told Vitaly to leave her alone. The YouTuber responded by tackling her to the ground, straddling her, and punching her in the head, face, and body. She had never met or interacted with him. He was arrested later that day and charged with a felony aggravated battery during the course of his detention and arrest, and subsequently in the course of a civil suit by Miss Jensen. He stated that he had been tripping on hallucinogenic mushrooms when he battered Miss Jensen. He did seem like he was way out of it. They couldn't even get his shoes on. So I wanted to let you know that this is an old thing that happened, in April 12th, 2020, but the body camera footage just came out today, and I wanted to share that with you. Pretty interesting how the cops interacted with each other when nobody was around, what they were saying, how they described Miss Jensen as, yeah, he beat up that bitch. They were literally calling the victim a bitch and just constantly repeating themselves and being all kindergarten about it. Yeah, what Vitaly did was just a garbage pail move, and the cops just is it the Miami Police Department? I don't know what police department, but I think Big Nick, South Florida Accountability is in that area, so that might be interesting to explore further. Hey guys, we know with the way things have been going, it can get really interesting really quick. So make sure you and your family have a long-term storable food supply. Support the channel and get $50 off with my link in the description while you still can.